Hi, this is Rick Harsh. Um, in a better mood than last time, and this doesn't happen often. With this Gaza stuff, I mean, it burdens me. It really burdens me. But today, I'm going to talk about something that makes me really happy. I had visitors from Hungary. They didn't have a lot of time here, but they came. Then we talked a while. Then they went to eat and swim. They had two wiener dogs, miniature wiener dogs, so they were small. But they actually had the smallest of the full-grown ones and the biggest, and just great dog. They're the kind of dogs that made me want to have like 50 of them around me. They look great together. They did some synchronized sleeping, but only for a few minutes, And anyway, they went to the dog beach, which we have here. We have a dog beach, and it's very very small, but everybody there is pro dog. Even the dogs, most of them. Some of them seem to hate dogs, but those are brutes, and generally the people who bring them there know that they're trouble and keep them away from our dogs. Our meaning us dog people. And by the way, this is brought to you by Saber Guitars, the best guitars in ex-Yugoslavia. Regular luthier, Dr. Saber himself makes the guitars. He's making one for my son right now. Well, probably he's in bed right now, but tomorrow morning he'll get up and start working on it again. Uh, so these Hungarians were visiting, and Magyars. Although I found out that in Hungarian you don't say Magyar, you say Modjar. Modjar. I think it was Modjar, but I'm not positive about that. But the really great thing about having visitors, especially people you don't see that often. I don't see these people that often. Um, and I'd like to see them more. I wish I could see them every day. They're that kind of people. The guy is just a really sweet guy, great guitar player. The woman is his girlfriend. They met walking their wiener dogs at a particular place in probably Budapest. Budapest. And anyway, when you have visitors like that, and you run a publishing company, you get to give away books, whether they like it or not, and you're going to give them books. So I said, "Hey, Daniel, now what do you read? What kind of books do you read?" And he told me about a couple of sort of science fiction-like books, speculative perhaps, and so I I had to give him this, and I had to show him, of course, on page 431, the uh, historic drawing of this historic book that's makes of that's the Rick Harsh homunculus held by Jeff, the character, and the artist. Um, there we have two stickers, and I won't tell you much about this book, but for some reason I have two different stickers of that, the gold one and then the green one, or the green one then the gold one, and there's a reason that they're within a kilometer of this very point. Buy it and find out. So I don't know. I just thought, okay, this we can't. Last time he was here, I asked him, "What have I given you?" And he said, "Well, one by you was history or something." Skulls of History. He said, "Yeah, it was a little bit difficult um, for me. His English is excellent, but he probably reads in his own language most of the time." And does some technical reading in English, but he had a little trouble with my book, and I thought, well, you might have a little trouble with this, but if you have trouble with this book, you just look at the pictures. They'll help you. And then just go for the ride. And if you don't get everything, so what? I mean, even getting to the point where you come to this drawing, it's exciting. You'll understand what you read up to this point, even if Hungarian is your home mother tongue language. So I thought, okay, that's what I'll give him. And her, I said, her name was Fruji. I said, Fruji, what kind of books do you like? And she said, well, I've been reading a lot of psychology lately. There's probably a story there, but we didn't have enough time to get into that. I'll have to ask next time. And so she's, psychology. Okay. And I thought, well, psychology, is that really so much different from philosophy of creativity? There's a lot of psychology in philosophy. And, so I thought of this one, but I thought, well, but let's try to get at something else. And I tried a couple of books, and they weren't the right ones. And she said she liked sort of, I think she was describing more, she something like Kafka or whatever, but, things that are, or Murakami. He said he liked Murakami, and I thought, shit, what do we got that's anything like Murakami? And then I thought, there's some Murakami thinking in this, in its way. There's something there. And, well, let's face it, I had to give something. And so then, I thought of this, and then I tried various other books, and then I told her, okay, let's go into the, headquarters, which is here. And, all the books are, up there, and, down to up there, and down to here, and then over there. I don't know if you can, see, they're all over. Let's just look and see what we can find. and I thought, okay, well, there's this. And then I thought, fanciful. How about the award-winning A Pastoral? Yeah, this will work. And then I thought, never mind what they say. Anybody is going to like The Year of the Plague Rat by Randall Leong. I said, Daniel, this definitely, you'll love this. I mean, drugs and sex and, and Plague Rat and it's all, I just thought, I looked at it and my blood pressure went up, my heart started beating faster, and I thought, this is a great book. This is probably our most exciting book in the last year or so. I mean, there are books. Let me compare it to a book here. Well, I can't find it right away, but I will. I'm going to find one, and just stay with me. It's not going to take that long. Okay. Is it better than Wailing, Madness, Shame, and Death? No, it is not. These are both really great books, extremely well written. But this is a dark, I wouldn't say that, I'm thinking of movie language now. Is it a slow burn? No, it's not even a slow burn, but it's a dark novel, and it's very compelling. But this is exciting. It's funny. And, I said, this is for, all the books are for both of you, And I said, in fact, this one, you'll end up reading passages out loud to her. It's that kind of book. This is an exciting book. This is a great book. But I didn't give them this. I gave her A Pastoral because, there's a lot of sheep-human interaction and, well, I don't want to try to summarize a book. I'm really bad at it anyway. So And then I looked at this, and I thought, well, I didn't give them one of mine. And is my name even on? Oh yeah, it's on. You see, it says Rick Harsh. Yeah, this is my latest book that I've finished, and I told them the story briefly that I wanted to write my big India novel, and it was going to be, that my last words on India in fiction, and it was going to be a 500-page book about colonialism and so on. And I'd written the first page and a half or so, and I just couldn't get anywhere with it. And then I realized that all of what I had to say was so compressed that it was really a tavern confession novel. The difference being that the author is not talking to another person, but he's talking with a monkey. The difference there is that it's not like the normal monkey talking book where the monkey just talks. There's a logical, practical reason that the monkey can talk. And, physiologically, it's possible and it works. It involves a, a temporary implant that's like a harmonica that goes into the throat, and that it's just a matter of controlling, how the breath comes out, and eventually you can learn to speak. So that's and that conversation is in 63 pages or so, and that's all I have to say about India now. After all these years, it's condensed into this book, which is one of my favorites. I'm going to make we're going to print a new version relatively soon. I'm going to get rid of the typos, and there's some typos. I don't know how many, but I don't want there to be any, because it's so short. Why should there be a typo? Well, who cares about typos? I guess I do, because I'm talking about it. So these, and just giving the books away, and look at the quality of the books I was able to give away. This, we've sold over 1,000. This is one of the best books out there in the universe, and we have it. We're the only ones. We have the loyal Philip Friedenberg and Jeff Walton, who I owe money to because we've gotten behind in our royalty payments, and I don't know how much I owe him, but I do owe him, and I have to save up for his next book, The Museum of Something Ideas, and Museum of Cockamamie. Museum of Cockamamie Ideas. It's not that cockamamie, but until you hear different, let's call it the Museum of Cockamamie Ideas. And that's going to be great. It's going to do more than this book. And, we're going to be having to print like 500, I think, to start with. This, one of my best 3 books, and in some ways one of my very favorites. Love Olaf Palme. I love Eddie Vegas, but I think this is closer to my heart. And this completely out of nowhere, Randall Leong, very exciting and funny book. A Hunter Thompson-esque. It cascades of language and really smart at the same time. So much humor and it's without, the guy writes without any controls, and and hits all the right notes, and it's fantastic. Lee Thompson's brilliant penal colony novel. This what to do with a really bad person. Little put the brain in a sheep. Why not? It's a good idea, I think. This book. I'm not sure if you read this book you'll come down on one side or the other, but you may not come down for some time. And David Miller's brilliant philosophy of creativity, Words to Live By. fantastic book. And I've been able to look at them all together. You know, I just so happy that I have these to give away. And yeah, so it got me excited and back into the literary brain. And I'll be fucked up by tomorrow, maybe later tonight. I don't know. Depends if I watch the news shows and so on. But right now, I'm very happy. Thank you, literature, and thank you, whoever trusts me enough to listen to me when I'm happy.